You are listening and watching to a very special podcast. Alright, guys, this is going to be the grand finale. No, this isn't going to be the end of Maggie's point of view. Not yet. Not yet. We're not down there yet. We just need a few more to go, and then it will be finished. The grand finale I'm talking about is is father versus daughter, or daughter versus father. This is gonna be Maggie's showdown against her father. And boy, it's gonna get pretty epic. And yeah, I say that a lot in some, but yeah. It's also, there's gonna be some terrifying elements, and at the same time, it's gonna be awesome too. But just in case, viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy! Maggie could not believe what she was standing in front of. Her eyes bulged with terror. Oh my God. This must be it. This is where Mom and Jamie are in. It was a big mansion, a really huge building, painted in the darkest red. It looked like somebody had soaked the entire house with blood, and the walls of the outside looked pretty normal. Maggie decided to step in. She looked around, and she was pretty sickened by the inside of the walls. Some of the walls looked like some sort of meat mass, and the most horrible part is, it felt more alive. Who the hell would want to live in a place like this? This is disgusting, she thought. She just had to stomach it in and maybe get up to the office. Her father was waiting. She could feel it. She felt a prickling between her shoulder blades. Sure enough, when she opened the door, there he was. "Hello, Father," Maggie said. "Maggie. Margaret. So you made it," Ugaru said. "You know, it wasn't easy to find this place. A place full of organic mass of muscle. Jeez, who redecorates your room?" "Enough about that. You have no idea what's going on now, do you? You're nothing more than a hooker's daughter. You forced my mom into the whole thing with becoming a hooker. So it wasn't really her fault. And that's how you're gonna do this to her? I bet you do this to other girls, and then you victim blame them as well. You really make me sick," Maggie said. "I make you sick?" "This whole house, besides that, you're the only one that makes me want to vomit. You destroyed her. You destroyed my childhood. And, worst of all, I was adopted by a family that never really cared about me." "I was fostered by a few different families when I was a baby, but that was all a blur. The only family that didn't treat me right was my foster ones that I lived with. I lived with them when I was only 6 and a half and still growing as a teenager, but they thought I wasn't going to survive and they never really supported me." "And besides, you on the other hand, how did you make into a business of being a hustler, huh? I bet you had to sell all those narcotics in order to make yourself big. But you know what made you big? You become this monstrosity that you put yourself through, but you don't even give a shit. Now do you? Maggie said. I don't give a shit. I volunteer myself to become a manifestation. And I made sure your mother remembers our little one night. So let me get this straight. You hurt her last night, and then all of a sudden, she becomes pregnant with me. I didn't want her to have that baby, but she said it was her body and not mine, and I was planning on killing you while you were still alive, but she had her own way. But you know what? I am not going to let her go. She's all mine. Oh, she's your property. Yes, she's my property, Rugaru shouted. Your property? People are not property. They are just people wanting to live their lives, and my mom's trying to clean herself up after all the mess you put her through, and all the shit you've been pulled through. You know, Tommy was really desperate for some love. What? You mean you hook him up with me? Well, he wasn't really much more stable, so I thought it was perfect. Very, very perfect. Rugaru said, You son of a bitch. You're a psycho. Oh, a psycho, huh? Rugaru growled. His eyes became red, and the parts of his eyes around the sides and all over began to crinkle. However, there was a bit of red glowing beneath his skin. Then the skin tore off, and all of a sudden, his mask was unveiled, and a monster stood among Maggie. Maggie was terrified. So this is what you put yourself through. You've become a shell of a monster more than a man. I can't believe you. You're like a creature of the night, a vampire. Is that what you think I am? Rugaru shouted. He attacked Maggie, but Maggie managed to dodge him. The fight continued on until Rugaru pinned Maggie to a wall using his blood. I hope you have a nice sleep, Margaret, Rugaru said, then began suffocating her with his own blood. Maggie tried to force it back, but she was consumed into it. Rugaru was about to finish her off and letting her be breathing out her last breath. All of a sudden, cold water splashed in his face, and he screeched with pain. It was an ice-cold water bucket that sprayed all over Rugaru. Take that, you bastard, Lecter said. Ribbit, yeah, take that, Frosh echoed. Maggie managed to get out of the blood, but she fell on her knees, groaning. Mags, are you okay? BB said. Can you give me a minute? Rasped Maggie. She leaned away from everyone, and then she vomited. Where were you guys? Maggie said. Sorry, it looks like traffic was in our way, Phoebe said, helping her friend up. Oh, I thought I was gonna die. Thanks. Hey, Lecter, Frosh, nice ice bucket there. Oh, thanks. We knew that he doesn't really like water now, does he? What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's afraid of water.
You see, let me explain. When he was only younger, he didn't know how to swim, and his parents were pretty much mean to him. So, they decided to teach him without using anything, and he was too scared. So, his father pushed him into the water. The boy tried to swim, but he couldn't, and he screamed for his father, but his father wouldn't let him, and your poor father almost died. Oh, wait, he's not really poor anymore now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really a monster.
Frosh agreed. Maggie looked at her dad with surprise. Then she leaned over at the two cats and asked, "What else is he afraid of? Anything?" "Yeah, he hates loud noises. One time, he went to this loud place and he always complained about the noise, but his mom didn't even care. He was about to leave, but he couldn't, and it was very ear splitting.